Greetings! Welcome to the devlog for update 35 of Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. We're going to start off, as always, with a quick sound check. Make sure your speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, we have a fully functional preview of M.E.A.T.S, the Modular Environment Adaptive Target System. It is the new game mode that I have been working on intensely, and today I basically wanted to show you what is working so far that you'll be able to play with this evening, which is basically a couple shall we say, draft or sketch sequences of the 8 modes that are going to exist within this system. Let's make sure those are all visible to you. We're going to have Getting Started, Casual Plinkin', Open Season, which is going to be the sort of category that is will allow for pretty much any sort of firearm in it. Lightning Reflexes, which is about short, really fast sequences. 6-shooter, which are going to be sequences entirely designed for 6-shot or thereabouts firearms. Mental Gymnastics, which are going to be all of our various sort of puzzle sequences. Spray and Pray, which is going to be all of the sequences that are really designed for tons of fully automatic firearms, in many cases with infinite ammo enabled. It's for those of you who just want to go nuts. And Downrange, which are going to be the sequences designed primarily for use with magnified optics, including some designed for prone shooting. So let's get started. Let's see, which sort of sequence should we show off here? So let's go ahead and let's spawn lock that. And jump over to 6-shooter here. So we go into a category, we select our available challenge. Now, when you open one of these up, you're going to see several things about the given challenge. You're going to see some description text for us, in this case letting us know that we're always going to have 6 seconds for warm-up and 6 seconds per wave. It's recommending we use a revolver. And then we're going to see some settings related to the sequence. So in this case, this is a beginner sequence, although this sketch isn't. This one's a little harder than beginner. The firearm mode, right now this says open, which all of them do. But the way this is going to work in the future is that some sequences will allow you to use any equipment you want. Some sequences will restrict you to several categories within the item spawner back there. And then the other firearm mode is fixed, meaning that it basically will despawn all equipment in the scene and give you a specific firearm to use. With ammo mode, we also have 3 modes. There's going to be infinite, spawn lockable. So in this case, this says spawn lockable, which means my my inventory slot here is able to turn blue. And then there'll be what's called finite, similar to the sort of finite firearm mode. It will give you a certain number of magazines, and that's all you have for the sequence. Cool. So let's go ahead, load up our revolver here, and get going. Don't have a 6th shot to get that one. Whew, just in time. Oh, I hit this one. Oh, terrible. Oh. Lost so many points there. Oh, atrocious. You can tell that I have not practiced that one much. So once we complete a sequence, you'll see your score there. We will go to the scoreboard. Next update, we will actually have some global high scores. Lucas and I worked on it a whole bunch this week, but it wasn't quite ready. And then you'll have your local high scores here, and we're probably also going to implement a friends scoreboard as well, so you can compete against Steam friends. So now that we've checked out that sequence, let's pick one that is a little more over the top. So let's go to Spray and Pray here. Let's grab this. I've got a Scar 17 here. The tracer's ready. I'm going to put that there. We're also going to grab some twin PP91s. Let's put that there. Harness it. Oh, that one's ready to fire. That one is ready to fire. Go ahead and harness those in. You'll see here that the ammo mode is infinite, so this mode is truly designed around firing as quickly as you can. So that gives you an idea of what you might expect in a Spray and Pray sequence. Let's jump back there, jump back there. Excellent. So I'm not going to go ahead and show you all the sequences that I have ready yet right this moment, in part because I'm still working on them, as I still have about 5 or 6 hours or so to get everything ready for the update, and so that some of them are a surprise for you. I'm aiming to tonight have one for each of these 8 sequences done for this update. So I'm going to go ahead and jump out of VR and talk about them a little more.
Yo! So, I hope that looked fun to all of you. I know I didn't stay in VR for super long for this update, and that's in part, once again, because I don't want to spoil the few sequences that I already have fully functioning. But in addition to that, I just want to get right back to work, because I want to make sure these 8 sequences are ready for tonight's updates. In terms of everything that's working, I didn't show it all right there, but I have 5 different target categories all functioning. There's discs, of which there are 5. The grids are functioning now with a larger number of sort of instructions or possible things you can be asked to do in them. Shapes are fully functioning. There's now a couple new sort of verbal commands designed to trip you up beyond last week's stuff. There's the Ipsc mode, which now functions at all different ranges and contains shoot and no-shoot targets. And mortars, which are basically, they're sort of skeet-like shattering spheres that are shot up in various sorts of combinations of arcs. And of course, I can and will be mixing and matching all of those together. You can see I'm stumbling over my words a lot today because I'm so overcaffeinated. Just trying to get this done. I have not slept much the past 2 nights. Anyway, whew. Cool. So yeah, so the as I said, the local scoreboards are up. What would if you're playing H3 and enjoying this, what I would love it is if you could play the preview sequences that I have in so far, and post your scores and what equipment you were using to get that score to the Reddit thread that is going to be attached to this video. I'm still calibrating the scoring. So right now a number of things are very much not final with it. There are no bonus points for shooting things that are further away than closer. It's now just sort of fixed per target. That's going to change. I'm still tuning the amount of points that you get when you finish a wave early. There's some bonus points now, but I don't know if it's quite balanced relative to the target scoring yet. So getting some early data back from you folks will help me calibrate that. I do plan to add in the global high scores, even just for these preview sequences, before the next update. They're probably going to be hot fixed in either beginning of next week or at the very latest next Friday, just because it will allow me to start scraping a bunch of metadata out of those of you who are playing it, so that I can balance things further and make sure that nothing's breaking and everything's spawning correctly for all of you. So yeah. Obviously the environment for the scene is not done yet. I haven't put any time into it this week. All of my effort has gone into the sequencer, which has been a good deal more complex than I initially expected it to be. But it's been a fun challenge. I've been enjoying it nonetheless. So yeah, and then in terms of what are the goals for the following week, obviously to have all of the scoring and rank-based stuff completely done and working reliably. I want to definitely have a whole bunch of sequences across the 8 categories. All of the sort of tools and workflow that I've built for myself the past 2 weeks are already paying off in terms of the amount of time it's taking me to put together these sequences. So unlike the modular range, which of course had like 12 and then I just never added more and just flaked on it, it should be far easier for me to put dozens of them in here. So you've got tons of different sorts of challenges. Obviously I want to continue sprucing up and finishing the environment, getting the lighting right and the rest of the sort of details present. It's still going to be a fairly minimalist environment, and that is an intentional design choice that's about basically saving performance. The lighter weight the whole environment is, the more I can do in terms of insane numbers of targets active and shattering and exploding and such at once. So that's the priority. So the environment will remain pretty flat and simple, but I do want it to be a little contrastier, possibly a little bit of movement, that sort of thing. And then lastly, with the unlock system, I heard a number of you, after I talked about it last week, freaked out a little bit. You're like, no, I don't want to have to slog through things. I totally get where you're coming from. The unlock system is going to be optional. So it's going to be on by default when you load into the environment and start playing. But if you're like, look, I just want to use any equipment, no matter what, out of the item spawner in that mode, you'll be able to open up the options panel and sort of forcibly unlock, or if you've unlocked everything and want to go through the whole process again, you'll be able to fully reset it as well, especially for those of you who say don't care for it for a while and then a month from now are like, I would have enjoyed unlocking everything and getting the eventual achievements, because we are going to have achievements eventually. You'll be able to reset that and sort of start your progress from the beginning. If that interests you. And of course, if you're like, I don't have time for this, I just want to use my favorite rifle on all the open sequences and that's all I care about, by all means you'll be able to play that way. So I don't like restricting people for artificial structure for artificial structure's sake, which is altogether too common in game design. So yeah, so that is the plan. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right back to work on this. But yeah, once the update pushes at 7 p.m. PST tonight, let me know what you think of the preview sequences and how things are working for you. I'm super excited to hear how you folks enjoy stuff. So yeah, peace.